Hello, everybody.
Hey there, Ross. How's it going?
Going good? Staying busy? Hitting the ground running this year.
That's what I'd like to hear.
Yeah, I got some cool updates to share, some brief stuff to go over today. But yeah, got a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline. Share my screen here real quick. Yeah, so today we're gonna go over a couple of the features that we're gonna be releasing in the next few weeks. Talk about some of the design updates and UI enhancements that some customers have been asking about, and show kind of some sneak peeks on what to expect for those design updates, which would be really cool. And then, of course, at the end, we'll go through so if anybody has any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat or wait till the end and we'll get to it at the end there. So I always like to start off these calls making sure that everyone is aware of our public roadmap. This is going to be available at roadmap.stammer.ai. You can go in here and add in items that you'd like to see us build, and then go and upvote other items. As you can see, there are certain tasks or features that people have upvoted quite a bit, which is stuff that we are now building and working on implementing over the next couple weeks. This is free to join, and you can add anything that you'd like, which will help us build the next round of features for the platform. That being said, one of the things that has been asked about quite a bit over the last few weeks, months, has been the ability to have a live chat solution where a human can take over the conversation from the AI agent and be able to send responses. This is our current beta view of what live chat is going to be. But the cool thing is we're already improving this based on the feedback from our beta users who are on the full SaaS mode plan. So if you'd like to get access to features early, that is how you do so. We essentially send this out to all users who are interested in getting early access, and then they can play around with it and test it to then give us feedback on how we can improve it. So we're going to improve this section to be more of like a typical chat interface where you can have all of the human handoffs settings for the automation inside this tab. So this will be really useful for everyone who is using the human handoff feature already, but this will now work within the website chat widget, and it will also work within all of the meta applications. So anytime a user wants to talk to a human, that can now be done so within the application. This is also going to be something that we're going to roll out to other areas. So think mobile, Slack, things like that. This is rolling out to users right away. So if you guys are interested, send us an email and we can get this added to your account. So that being said, some of the other things that we're working on redesigning have been existing sections in the application to help make it easier to understand for users and make it more useful for you as an agency to actually do what it is that you want to do. So lead collection system right now is a little confusing, but we're optimizing this heavily to look something more like this, which will allow you to define data that you want to extract from a conversation simply without the need for a secondary prompt, and then send that data to an email or to a webhook, which can be piped into a CRM or anything like that. So it's going to be an update for the leads tab. We're going to also update the appearance section to have a easier way to select different colors and update the chat widget and customize the look and feel of how you want it to look. And of course, updating kind of the general settings area with more templates for the most common niches that we come across for people. So these are all going to be changes that we implement over the next couple months as we continue to work on the core functionality of the platform. So a lot of that comes from the feedback that we get from users, and this is why a lot of our customers like adding stuff to the roadmap, is because we actually do build it relatively quickly. It's not just going to get lost and never get built. So on that note, some of the things that we just released the ability to render images and things like video. So essentially you can paste in links, and this is something that we went over quickly last week, but you can essentially add links to images, which can now be rendered within the chat widget. This was one of those items that was highly requested, be able to show product images. So that is now out and available. And we're just now improving the way that users do this to make it more easy for everyone to to implement. So that was a quick little overview of some of the things that we're working on. Of course, we're also implementing and working on a whole new analytics dashboard, which will essentially update and replace this dashboard view with a bunch of cool graphs and useful information so that way you can have better insights about what your sub accounts and what your users are doing and be able to take actions on all that. No, hey Tim, just going over some of the latest updates.
Great.
So yeah, that being said, does anybody have any questions that they'd like to ask or anything that they'd like to bring up? Tim, do you have anything that you wanted to mention or add?
I don't right now. Super excited to get people beta testing live chat.
Yeah, and we will be consolidating inbox and conversations back into one tab. It's just two tabs right now, so that way we're not interrupting or disrupting any existing functionality that people are using. Once we get through the beta test and release it for everyone, the inbox and conversations will become one singular tab that will look something like this with human handoff settings. Now, a cool feature on top of this that we will probably also add after live chat is out is the ability for the AI agent to simultaneously respond to the user queries before the human takes over the conversation. So essentially what this would allow, the scenario is the end user says, hey, I want to talk to a human. Human handoff setting automation is triggered because they said, I want to talk to a human. So a notification is sent to the saying, hey, someone wants to talk to you. The human agent can log in your white label version of Stammer. They can go to the conversation. They can see the user's question. And if they don't know the answer to that question, they could have the AI give them an answer, at which point they could then use this and copy and paste this over, or they could simply click the add to composer button, which would add the response back to the type box. So it's kind of this idea of a human AI hybrid for a customer support approach rather than just one or the other. Best of both worlds.
That's pretty smart. Pretty neat.
Thanks. So this will also be, some of these updates will also be very useful for newer agencies or businesses that are just kind of getting started with all this stuff, because the idea here is we're greatly simplifying and reducing the complexity of basically the entire platform. And we're doing that based off of how our users are actually using the platform. I mean, essentially. So not to just continue to yap and drone on here. I'll ask again, if anybody has any questions, please speak up or put it in the chat. Try to make these as interactive as possible, but I know some people just like to lurk, me being one of those people. So it's all good if that's the case.
Nothing for today. Thank you.
Okay, cool. All righty. Well, I think if no one has any other questions, we'll cut it short today so we can get back to work and implementing some more stuff. But we will have another one next week with some more updates, and we'll talk to you guys then.
Looking forward.
All righty. Thanks, guys. Have a great week. Talk to you
All right.
later.
See ya.
Bye.
Talk to you all later.